Why is recovering oligarchs' illicit assets so difficult? Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack that keeps moving. That's what recovering stolen assets from oligarchs feels like, especially in the post-Soviet world. When Russia transitioned from a planned economy to capitalism in the 1990s, the process was anything but smooth. Instead of a clean break, it created a tangled web of theft, offshore accounts, and legal barriers. The wealth that was stolen was not just taken and hidden. It was transferred out of Russia into secretive offshore financial centers like the Cayman Islands and Switzerland. These places are designed to keep assets confidential, making it nearly impossible for authorities to trace where the money really is. The original theft happened during the chaotic privatization period after the Soviet Union fell apart. The government sold off state assets like oil companies, steel mills, and mines through rigged auctions. The oligarchs, who were often connected to security agencies or black market networks, bought these assets at a fraction of their true value. They used shell companies and layered ownership structures to hide their real control. This legal trickery makes it tough to prove who owns what, especially since international law mainly recognizes property based on legal titles, not how they were acquired. Adding to the challenge is the fact that the legal and political systems in Russia are deeply intertwined with these oligarchs. Many of the institutions meant to enforce property laws were compromised during the transition. Prosecutors, judges, and security agencies often had ties to the same oligarchs or political figures. Pursuing asset recovery could threaten the power balance that emerged from the privatization process. The government, which is now controlled by those who benefited from the theft, has little motivation to pursue these cases. Instead, they often support policies that allow assets to change hands among different oligarchs, not return to the public. International financial systems also play a role in making recovery difficult. Offshore banking centers prioritize secrecy over transparency. They have strict privacy laws that prevent authorities from easily accessing account details. International treaties that could help in tracking and recovering stolen assets are weak and inconsistently enforced. Even when sanctions are imposed on certain oligarchs, they often have their wealth hidden behind layers of companies and accounts in multiple countries. On top of all this, political will is lacking. The post-Soviet transition was seen by many as a move away from Soviet-style control toward a new capitalist elite. The ruling class now depends on the wealth accumulated through privatization. Recovering stolen assets would mean admitting the process was illegitimate and returning property to the public. That's a step many leaders are unwilling to take because it threatens their own power and the stability of the current system. Even if there was a desire to recover assets, practical obstacles remain. Oligarchs employ top legal teams and financial advisors to protect their wealth. They use complex corporate structures that make tracing ownership a lengthy and costly process. Multiple countries with different laws and levels of transparency must cooperate, which is rarely straightforward. The cost of legal battles, combined with the risk of losing, discourages many governments from pursuing aggressive recovery efforts. In the end, recovering illicit assets from oligarchs is a complex challenge rooted in the very history of Russia's transition. It's a mix of legal, political, and financial barriers that protect the wealth stolen from the people. The entire system is built to keep that wealth out of reach, making it clear that returning stolen assets would require a fundamental change in how the state and economy operate. Until then, these assets will remain hidden, out of reach, and largely untraceable.